Canik TP9 Elite SC subcompact, the little guy. We're going to start things off as always with our full mag +1. We're using Gecko 124 grain NATO load. We have an ABC zone target out at about 20 yards. That's just so I have something to aim at. Can't promise I'm going to hit every time, but that's going to be my goal. I'm going to shoot slowly enough for me to hit it every time, but hopefully not quickly enough for it to be boring for you. It comes with a 12-round magazine with the picky extension and the 15-rounder with the full extension. We're going to do our +1 out of the 12-rounder and the full mag out of the 15. See how the gun runs. It was hitting so easy, I decided to accelerate a little bit. So sorry I missed 1 out of 16, but ran fine, locked open, and somehow my big old thumbs did not sit on that slide stop and prevent it from locking open. For what's for dinner, this is when we test out different loads of different weights, projectile shapes, casing strength, as in brass, aluminum, steel, and nickel plated or non. This is what we've got. We're starting at 85 grains, going all the way up to 165 grains. Many people have asked why we only do 3 rounds. That's because all we're looking for is to see, will it pick up from slide lock? Does the gun cycle with the energy of one fired round? And will it lock the slide open with that energy once the magazine is empty? Really, this could be done with 2 rounds. We do 3 rounds just in case there's an anomaly. Testing the actual magazine's ability to run this ammo was already completed during the full mag +1. Doing it this way keeps things efficient and allows us to constantly have such a wide variety of ammo. Thank you to those who support us through the Ammo Squared affiliate. That's where a good portion of this is able to be purchased. So before we get started in the what's for dinner, a lot of you asked in the tabletop if magazines from the other TP9 series would function. Grabbed an 18-rounder. This is from the SFX. It's probably the most opposite of the subcompact. And one thing to consider when you have multiple sizes of the same gun using the same magazine is that it's possible without a proper sleeve to over insert the magazine. And that is, if you're just jamming it in there, you might be pushing up and either damaging the catching mechanism, the magazine surface, or shoving the round up a little bit higher than it should be, and that can cause all kinds of issues. So regardless of the gun, if you don't have a sleeve that's going to prevent you from over inserting like I showed you in the tabletop, be careful using this. Nice gentle insertion. Let's see if they run though. I've got a full 18 rounds. This is just going to be throwing it in the dirt. All we want to see is it able to use this magazine from full to empty? And I would say yes, it locked open. What's for dinner? Our lightest is 85 grain. This is the Night Ops from Ammo Inc. It is a very short bullet. 85 grain is usually a 380 load. It's so light because this is a hollow point frangible. Supposed to be barrier penetrating, but still frangible. And the night part is it has that streak glow in the dark stuff on the back that is charged with ignition of the round. It's a little too bright out for us to see it, but it is the lightest round we have on hand. Using the pinky rest mag, see how it runs in the TP9 Elite SC. There's so many of these guns, I gotta remember what they're called. All right, starting at the top left target. Cycled very smoothly, very little recoil, and still locked the slide back. Next up, gaining a whopping 5 grains over the last one, Winchester's Super Clean. This is a 90 grain zinc core lead-free round. We chose it not only because it's light, but also because it's snubby nosed, so that could cause feeding issues. This is going to be in the 15 round mag. Fed, second target. Cycled, lock the slide back. Stepping up another 5 grains, Magtec's 95 grain jacketed soft point flat nose. Interesting round. These also tend to be a little fire breathing, so now that we're past dusk or at dusk, this should be impressive. Using the 18 round magazine, inserting gently to make sure to not over insert. Top center target. Oh yeah, it's a fireball. It's kind of distracting. Really helps you understand the value of low flash powders, because that is not a low flash powder. Next, at 108 grain, almost making it up there, the monolithic hollow point from Norma. Interesting round, very pretty. And this will be the top right, using the little stubby mag. As you might be seeing, that flash is not as bright as the other stuff. Cycled and locked the slide back. Now at a whopping 115 grains, it's Horny's American Gunner. This is a hollow point, more the bullet weight that we're used to. Very narrow opening on the tip there, which should make for nice reliable feeding. Using the 15 rounder. Pulled that one. Cycled and locked the slide back.
All right, I'm going to start things off with 115 grain Barnaul steel jacketed.
Still cased.
Cased. Knew that. Oh, I love this gun. All right, next up I'm going to shoot the Blazer 115 grain. This is an aluminum case. And the long mag, that threw me off for a second. That's a nice big fireball. Very distracting. Had a heavy recoil on that too. All right, next up I'm going to shoot the Remington UMC. It's 124 grain. Maybe it's just because it's getting dark that we can see all those fireballs. Even though that one was a little bit heavier, it didn't kick me as hard. All right, next up is Remington's Golden Saber 147 grain in the brass jacketed. It's a hollow point. Had to check. That one had a kick, but it shot pretty smooth. All right, and last I am going to shoot the Stealth 165 grain. These are nice little rounds. Heavy, we'll see what this does is for recoil. Not bad. I like that. A little louder than I would have expected for a subsonic. All right, so we're gonna do 5 rounds for accuracy with the Norma Hexagon 124 grain. I'll shoot at the bottom circle square. It is getting dark and I am having a hard time seeing the rear sights, but I'll give it my best. Had a little. Not sure what happened with that second round or third round. It didn't want to feed.
It sounded like the slide got hung up a little bit.
Yeah, I just gave it a little tap and it shot just fine. Like I said, I couldn't see very well, but I love these Canics.
Right, I'll be doing the same 5 shots from, we don't know, at least 7 yards with the Hexagon. It is getting a bit dark out here, so I'm going to cheat and got one of these little Crimson Trace pocket lights, and without blinding myself, activate that front sight post, which is now really bright. Wow, that's glowing. It's like staring at the butt of a lightning bug.
All right, so the Canik TP9 Elite Subcompact. I love Canics. I ran a Canik at center T, so this one feels very comfortable in my hands. When I was choosing my concealed carry weapon, as much as I wanted one, I couldn't go with one because they were just a little bit too big for me, but this one might just fit the bill. I initially said that I didn't like that the mag release is only operable with my thumb, but Graham has mentioned that I can reverse that. So who knows, this could be my next purchase. The reset on this, I like it. It's noticeable, which helps me keep my point of aim without having to adjust too much from squeezing where I don't need to. And the reason I noticed that I was squeezing is because of the stippling that's here on the back strap, which makes it nice because, you know, you've got a firm grip on your weapon. I'm not coming too far down in my hand, so I don't have too much there. Makes me know that I could conceal this if I needed to. The grooves here on the slide, I like, just because it lets me know where I am on my weapon in my hand without having to look at it. Like I said, I love Canics. Great gun.
So as you can see, it's definitely getting dark out here. And just to explain once more, the front sight post on here is, I forget that fancy photo something term, but it's a glow-in-the-dark thing that charges based off of light. So it's better than a blacked out sight, but it does lose its charge over, you know, you got to recharge it. So onto the pistol itself. Everything that there is to love about the TP9 series in a smaller package. That's pretty much all there is to it. I was using the 15 rounder, which, as you saw on the tabletop, oddly I can get my whole hand on this, but I can't on the 15 round TP9s. I end up with half a pinky off. So this is a little bit longer somehow, or maybe, I don't know, call it magic, but I showed that in the tabletop. It's not just me being crazy. The 12 rounder has enough of a pinky rest that I can get half a pinky on there, and that made this gun pretty much right-sized. In looking for a subcompact, I could still shoot it decently, control it. Trigger, ergonomics, everything familiar to the TP9 line. This I could see easily being a summer carry gun. I'm a bigger guy, I wear baggy clothes. I tend to carry full-size guns most of the year. But awesome gun, and great job Canik for making it smaller and still just as reliable and enjoyable as the full size.